All right, well, thanks everyone for being here. I'm just gonna basically, briefly go over what the website is like and all the different things that you can do with the website. We've got 3 really great speakers that are gonna talk in depth about some more of the actual applications on there. So really, I think a lot of stuff that you guys can all use either as a program director or as an actual fellow. So the fellowship website, Fellowship Council website, has gone through a lot of upgrading recently. I will admit it can be slow at times, so just don't feel like it's just you. There is some things going on in the back end that'll hopefully speed that up, but that is definitely something that we're aware of. There is a lot of material on the Fellowship Council website, so it can be very overwhelming when you first go on there, so I'll try to guide you through that a little bit. And then there's something you should realize, that there's sort of separate sections that you can interface with the website either as a program director or as an applicant or a current fellow. This is the website. I was going to try to do this live, but I figured if it was slow, that might not be a good idea. So I just did some screenshots instead. Sorry. All right, so this is the main interface that you see when you get onto the Fellowship Council website. And you can see that there's a banner up at the top that shows either sections for applicant fellows, for programs, information, general information, and then the fellowship directory, and then also you can see that there's that login password that you'd have to do if you want to get to specific things related to what you're doing. And then there's tons of information just on the actual front page, so you can see that there's information about matching dates, what's new. All these are clickable and have lots of great information on them. If you just scroll down, this would be on that same homepage. You can see, for example, under the What's New for the Fellowship Council, you can see you can get clicks onto the job board. You can get a click onto our parental leave policy. You can actually see the 2 timelines for the dates for the 2 different categories of fellowships. So lots of information. If you scroll down even further, I didn't do that for this. There's some videos, a nice video of Dr. Greenberg and Dr. Kathari. So anyway, lots of good stuff just on that main page. Now, this is me after I've logged in as myself, right? So this is now what you see if you're logged in for me as a program director, okay? And you can see that then you're going to see some stuff that's specific to you. So for example, for me, there's things that I can do with my program, right? So I'm a program director, so I can click on and I can, manage my program. I can manage my program listing. I'm on the accreditation committee, so this is related to that. Case log system, if you want to go in and look at the case log system of your fellows. All the different evaluation tools that you would use for the fellows, for EPAs. Leanne's going to talk about that. Quarterly fellow assessments, the scholarly activity form. So anyway, exit survey. So basically anything that you would need from that, and then other resources. So this would be specific to me because I've clicked on, and you can see under this dashboard, that's where you decide, where you're going to go to. So now, if you change that dashboard, now I put in committee. If you happen to be on a committee, then anything that related to the committees that you're on will come up. So, for example, like I said, accreditation committee, all the different clicks that you would use for accessing the materials for accreditation committee, and then for me, for the membership committee, this is the material that I would need for that. So again, that happens when you change that dashboard here. So that's new. So if you're on the website and you can't find that information that you're looking for, it's probably related to making sure that you've gone into the right bar here. And that's a little confusing, I think, sometimes. So for example, I'm just going to go through a few things. So here, let's say if I was an applicant on your fellow, you click on that there, you would see how to apply for a fellowship. Any fellow or applicant is probably familiar with that. FAQs, then fellowship information, news. So news under fellowship information, again, there's more sidebars so you can see all this material and information for you. So for example, let's say you wanted to look at the parental and medical leave recommendation. So that you can click on that. And, you know, then that comes up. So there it is. You can look at it. You can also get that from that homepage that I showed you. But that all information is here. Again, if you want to go back and look at these helpful information, there's all these materials for you for the Fellowship Council Board. I don't know if any of you knew that, but the Fellowship Council has a job board, and they also have basically links to sponsoring society job boards. So if you're, a fellow, you're looking for jobs, this is a great place for you to be able to look at all of them together rather than to go to each individual society's web pages to try to find those job boards. So again, all collated together, make it easy for you. Now, if you click over to managing programs, again, here you have tons of information. Again, accreditation information, any curricula you want to do, EPA's, Leanne's going to talk about, case log, Jake's going to talk about. But for example, let's say you want to make sure that you're doing your quarterly assessments for your fellows. So if you are a program director, FYI, you should be doing these quarterly. That's mandatory. So the way you get them is you click on that. And then this basically will just show you, your fellow. Like, for example, here's our current fellow. So I've done 2 already so far this year. Here's, last year's fellow, the fellow before that. So these are mandatory, but this is how you would do it. Makes it very easy. Other things that you can look at is, let's say you want to look to see if you're meeting the criteria for the specific fellowship designation that you have, right? So again, you can click on fellowship type and curricula and program requirements, and then every different kind of fellowship will come up. You can click on it. It'll give you exactly what you need for that. So really, I think very helpful. Just need to know where to look on the website, which sometimes can be a little bit tricky to navigate. As fellowship directory, I think is the way that it's set up now is really pretty nice, that you can now look up any kind of fellowship you want by type. So I mean, for this example, I clicked advanced GI-MIS, bariatrics, and foregut. So all the programs that meet those 3 criteria will come up. But you can click and just look at just for bariatrics programs or bariatrics advanced GI-MIS. So this actually works really nicely. It comes up, it gives you the program director, and then you can click on those and get the information about them as well. So again, I think this works out. The way it was before, I think, was a little clunky. I think this makes it a lot easier. And then finally, in this last about column, again, lots of different information. You can look up the bylaws, you can look up the leadership, you can look up the different committees and who's on there. So again, tons of information, all there available for you. And I think that's it, because I think the rest of our speakers are really going to go into depth about some of the topics that I think are probably going to be of most interest to you. So thanks very much. Who's